Herb, Chag Sameach. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to start with Olam Chesed again, or no? Can he put, it's nice. Can he put Olam Chesed? It's fine. If it was from, we had it. I just thought he had them.
No, I cannot. Sorry.
That's fine. Okay, that's totally fine. I'm gonna feed them this Olam Chesed to start. Thought maybe we would begin with these 3 words. Perfect timing. 3 very beautiful and very simple Hebrew words. Mi, bara, ele. Who made this? Who made these? Who made all of this is the context. There's the Midrash about Avraham in his early years as being, a doubter. Speaks about a moment in which he has a sudden awakening and realizes that though he wants terribly to solve the mystery of what it is to be in existence, he knows there is more than him, more than the sun, more than the moon, more than the idols that his father lives into. Mi bara ele is his moment of awakening. Mi bara ele. Oh, Lisa, welcome, friend. So I thought we could start off with a little inward look. What's keeping me from feeling the freedom that is afforded me? The true freedom that I live into. And is it, in part, blocked by what stops us from feeling the mystery in our lives, just from being held by something beyond what we see? If we can't hang out in that ever, we feel pretty lost. Mi bara ele, mi bara ele. Mi bara ele, mi bara ele, mi. Who made all this? Mi bara ele. Keep it going. Who made all of this as it unfolds before me? Me who made all of this as it echoes around me. Who made all of this as it deepens within me. Mi bara mi bara ele. Mi bara ele. Mi bara ele. Mi bara ele. Who made this as it unfolds before me. Who made all of this as it echoes around me? Who made all of this as it deepens within me? Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, friends. We're going to start our tefillah because, is there anybody online yet? There will be. I have so much faith in our community. We're going to turn to page 418. We're in the big blue book. If you have a thin blue book, you won't have the prayers for the festival, which would be a bummer. We are going to begin as we do Matovu. Hello, Norm. Like we're in Cheers a little. Norm, you just made our minyan. Toda, toda to you. Didn't we? Oh, we had it already? Oh, I miscounted.
And if you had a book that says Shabbat on it, go trade it for the thicker one, which is the festivals.
Okay. We're going to move into page 418. Please join us. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov. Same key. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov. Mishkenu techa Yisrael. Ani tefilati lecha Adonai et ratzon Elohim beroch chasdecha. Aneni be'emet ishecha. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov. Here we go. Matovu ohalecha Yaakov. Mishkenu techa Yisrael. Page 420. Baruch at Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, who heals all flesh, working wondrously. Baruch at Adonai, rofeh chol basar umafli la'asot. So we turn inward. Page 422. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehora. Tehora hi Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehora hi.
Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehora hi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehora hi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehora hi. Elohai neshama shenatata bi tehora hi.
Let our souls evolve higher from instinct to inspiration, haughtiness to holiness, selfishness to service, to join with the soul of souls, the infinite one. Baruch at Adonai, asher be'ado nefesh kol chai veruach kol besar ish.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lasevivina lehachin ben yom uvein laila.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach. Page 424.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim.
Amen. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, זוקף כפופי.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, roka haaretz al hamayim.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המכין מצעדי גבר.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, הנותן ליעף כוח.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir sheinai me'enai utenuma me'afapai.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשני בצלם אלוהים.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani bat chorin.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשני ישראל.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael bigvura.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, עוטר ישראל בתפארה.
Amen.
Together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
We take a moment to study a little text, so to speak. Join me, page 431, top of the page in the English. We seekers of God, how do we find you? In good deeds and in the study of Torah and your search for us. You find us in the bending of the knee, in the rigor of study, in the honesty of commerce, through a good heart, through decency, in respect, true fellowship, companionship, and love, through truth and peace, in the no that is really no, and the yes that is really yes.
אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, שאדם אוכל פירותיהם בעולם הזה, והקרן קיימת לו לעולם הבא, ואלו הן כיבוד אב ואם וגמילות חסדים, והשכמת בית המדרש שחרית וערבית, והכנסת אורחים וביקור חולים, והכנסת כלה וביית המת ועיון תפילה, והבאת שלום בין אדם לחברו, ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם. We move ahead to page 438. Baruch Shamar v'haya olam.
Baruch hu.
Baruch Oseh v'reshit.
Baruch Omer ve'oseh.
Baruch Ozer u'mekayem.
Baruch merachem al haaretz.
Baruch merachem al habriot.
Baruch mishalem zachar tov lireah.
Baruch La'ad v'kayam lanetzach.
Baruch podeh u'matzil. Baruch Shemo.
Blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign, who is glorified through praise. Baruch atah Adonai, melech mechula batishbachot.
Amen. Page 441. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. Again. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך העליון, ולזמר לשמך העליון. להגיד בבוקר חסידך, באמונתך ועלי בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור בכינור, מזמור שיר כי שמחתני, אדוני בפועליך, במעשה ידיך ארנן. מה גדלו מעשיך, אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
Page 442. אשרי ביתך, עוד יהללוך סלה.
אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו.
תהילה לדוד, ארום ממך אלוהי המלך, ואברך שמך לעולם ועד.
בכל יום אברכך, וללה שמך לעולם ועד.
גדול אדוני ומחולל מאוד, ולגדולתו אין חקר.
דור ישבח מעשיך, וגבורותיך יגידו.
הדר כבוד הודיך, ודברי נפלאותיך עשיך.
עזוז נורותיך יאמרו, וגדולתך אספרנה.
זכר רב טובך יביעו, וצדקותך ירננו.
חנון ורחום אדוני, ערך אפיים וגדל חסד.
טוב אדוני לכל, ורחמיו על כל מעשיו.
יודוך אדוני כל מעשיך, וחסידיך יברכוך.
כבוד מלכותך יאמרו, וגבורתך ידברו.
להודיע לבני אדם גבורותיו, וכבוד הדר מלכותו.
מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור.
סומך אדוני לכל הנופלים, וזוקף לכל הכפופים.
עיניך אליך יסברו, ואתה נותן להם את אוכלם בעיתו.
פותח את ידיך, ומשביע לכל חי רצון.
צדיק אדוני בכל דרכיו, וחסיד בכל מעשיו.
קרוב אדוני לכל קוראיו, לכל אשר יקראו באמת.
רצון יראיו יעשה, ואת שבתם ישמע ויושיעם.
שומר אדוני את כל אוהביו, ואת כל הרשעים ישמיד.
תהילת אדוני ידבר פי, ויברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד. ואנחנו נברך יה, מעתה ועד עולם, הללויה.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. We're going to sing a little hallelujah, and then we're going to jump into our baruch. So make this count. That's going to be too low. One more time. Is it? You like it there? I'll try it again. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 bikocho, hallelujah, hallelujah, birkia uzo. All right, now we got it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 bigevurota. Hallelujah, hallelujah, kerove gullo. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 viteka shofar, hallelujah, hallelujah, benevelve innore, hallelujah, 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 betofu. מטוף מחול, הללו, הללו במינים ועוגה. הללויה, 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 הללו, הללו בצלצלי, בצלצלי שמה, הללו, הללו בצלצלי, כל הנשמה תהלל, כל הנשמה תהלליה, כל הנשמה תהלליה, הללויה, 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 hallelujah. We rise and we turn if we are able, and I want to say a word that if at any point I say please rise and physically you're unable to rise, the point is to rise up with intention and to take care of yourself. And so we rise with intention and we face east, Yerushalayim. Page 452. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Together.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Mevorach leolam va'ed. You may be seated. So a prayer for nature, for the beauty of nature, and especially this day, in the day in which we are invited to truly embody being freed, not on the first day, as Rabbi Katz taught us last night, that so says the Midrash, and not on the second day, but not until this final day, we really get to embody the fullness of freedom. So the question this morning that I asked our chanting circle to sit with, and I'll invite it here too, is what stops us? We are free. Why don't we feel free? Right? Why not? Maybe you do. And how? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech page 454. Yotzer or uvorech oshech oseh shalom uvorech et hako. Once more. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, yotzer or uvorech oshech oseh shalom uvorech oseh shalom uvorech et hakol. אור חדש על ציון תאיר ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני, יוצר המאורות. Page 456. אהבה רבה אהבתנו, אדוני אלוהינו, חמלה גדולה ויתרה, חמלת עלינו. בעבור אבותינו ואימותינו, שיבטחו בך, שיבטחו בך, שיבטחו בך, ותלמדם חוקי חיים, כן תכוננו תלמידנו, המרחם רחם עלינו, המרחם רחם עלינו, ותן בליבנו להבין ולהשכיל, ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות, ולקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה, והאר עינינו בתורתך, וידבק ליבנו במצוותיך, ויחד לבבינו לאהבה וליראה את שמך, ולא נבוש ולא ניכלם ולא ניכשל לעולם ועד, כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו, נגילה ונשמחה בישועתך. והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ, ותוליכנו קוממיות לארצנו, כי אל פועל ישועות אתה, ובנו בחרת וקראתנו לשמך הגדול. סלע באמת להודות לך ולייחדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד.
Page 460. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם ועשו להם ציצית בגדיהם לדורתם ונתנו על ציצית הכנף פתיל תכלת והים לכם לציצית אותו וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי עיניכם אשר אתם זונים אחריהם למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Emet, emet. So in a moment we are going to read this text that introduces us to our michamocha, to our freedom, or freedom shouts. And then after we will rise, if we're able, and turn our attention to Torah. Actually, no, I lied. We're not going to turn our attention to Torah, which is why I'm stopping right here, to tell you that we're going to turn our attention toward Hallel. This is the last day of this festival, obviously, but it is also the last time for another 6 weeks before we get to make this big shout, these big sets of texts that praise. We talked last Shabbat about why praise is hard. This week, I guess I want to talk about why freedom is hard. I think they both come from the same source. I think that it is challenging for us moderns to name what it is that keeps us from feeling our fullness of presence and the gift that's life. I don't know why it is so hard, but it is so hard. And so many of us are so challenged. And this practice, this is the antidote. This is the antidote. To let ourselves feel into the words of the ancients who were striving and seeking to find God just as we, and to let ourselves feel held by their wisdom that allows us to open the door wider than they, even wider than they did. And so we name this text, we name these words together, 465, the 3 letters of the word emet, the truth, and why it is so incredibly hard for us to see it. We are asked that question in this text. And the answer, I, Adonai, have called you to righteousness and taken you by the hand and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations.
We are Israel, witness to God's covenant with our people.
This is the covenant I make with Israel. I will place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I want to read that to you again. I will place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I will be your God, and you will be my people.
We are Israel. Our Torah forbids the worship of race or nation, possessions or power.
Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice well up as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream.
We are Israel, schooled in the suffering of the oppressed.
Violence shall no longer be heard in your land, desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children shall be taught of Adonai, and great shall be the peace of your children.
We are Israel, O God, when we are witnesses to your will and messengers of your truth.
Messengers of your truth. You are my witnesses, says Adonai, and my servant whom I have chosen. Know me, therefore, and put your trust in me.
We are Israel, O God, when we proclaim you the God of freedom, as did our ancestors on the shores of the sea.
We're not going to do Hallel after this either, because we didn't do the Amidah yet. I have too much going on in my brain, obviously. Top of page 466. Who is like you? Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tirot osef eile. שירה חדשה. שירה חדשה, שיבחו גאולים לשמך, על שפת הים יחד כולם הודו, הודו וימליכו ויאמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Those who are able, we ask that you please rise once more. Join together at the bottom of the page. צור ישראל קומה בעזרת ישראל, ופידי חינומך יהודה וישראל. גואלנו אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל ברוך את אדוני גאל ישראל.
Adonai sefatav tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha.
Adonai sefatav tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Gila Livnei V'nehem, Leman Shemo Be'ava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham,
Be'ezrat Sarah.
Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayecha kol atah harav, lehoshia, morid hatal, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofe cholim, Umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishene afar. Michamocha ba'al givurot, umidom elach. Melech meimit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol.
Page 476.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר.
קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מרוב כל הארץ כבודו.
אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מה אדיר שמך בכל הארץ.
ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו.
אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
ימרוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהייך ציון, לדור ודור. Hallelujah. Freedom isn't just once to walk out under the Milky Way, feeling the rivers of light, the fields of dark. Freedom is daily, prose-bound, routine remembering, putting together inch by inch the starry worlds from all the lost collections. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We continue praying privately through page 492, and when you are finished, we invite you to find your seat. take a moment to set an intention together communally, always. Sometimes we sing the prayer for peace. Sometimes we sing a different alternative. I'm going to invite us to end this first week of the Sfirat HaOmer, where we lift up as high as possible or as deep as possible the midah, the character of our character of loving kindness, of chesed. We spent the whole week, some of us, really contemplating all the ways that chesed is manifest in our lives or not. And so we're going to take a moment to set this intention this final day of the first week as we pivot towards a new midah next week, gevurah, discipline, strength. Olam chesed yibaneh. Let us build this world from chesed first. Everything else can fall into place after. Olam chesed yibaneh. Yarara, yarai, lai, lai. Olam chesed. Olam chesed yibaneh. Yarara, ya la 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 la. Olam chesed yibaneh. Olam chesed yibaneh. Yarara, la 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 la. Olam chesed, olam chesed, olam chesed yibaneh. Yarara, ya la. All right, so here are the intentions. First, I must build this world from love. La la la, la la, and you must build this world from love. Ya la la, la la, and if we build this world from love, ya la la, ya la la, then God will build this world. Then God will build this world from love with us. Yadarai, yadarai, yeah. I want you to take all that energy and I want you to stand, if you're able, once more and turn to page 560 as we enter into our Hallel. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'ikro et Hallel. That's how they taught me at school. Hallelujah, 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 v'de Adonai. Hallelujah, 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 et Shem Adonai. Hallelujah, 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 Yehi Shem Adonai mivorach. Hallelujah, me'ata ve'ad olam. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Page 662. בצאת ישראל ממצרים, בית יעקב מעם לועז. בצאת ישראל ממצרים, בית יעקב מעם לועז. הייתה יהודה לקודשו, ישראל ממשלותיו. הים רב וינוס, הירדן ייסוב לאחור. ההרים רקדו חיילים, גבעות כבני צאן. מלך הים כי תנוס, הירדן תיסוב לאחור. ההרים תרקדו חיילים, גבעות כבני צאן. מלפני הדור הוא ירד, מלפני אלוהי יעקב. הופכי הצור אגמים, חלמיש למיינו מים. אדוני זכרנו יברך, יברך את בית ישראל, יברך את בית אהרון, יברך ירד אדוני. הקטנים עם הגדולים, יוסף אדוני עליכם, עליכם ועל בניכם. ברוכים אתם לאדוני, עושה שמיים בארץ. השמיים שמיים לאדוני, והארץ נתן לבני אדם. לא המתים להללויה, ולא כל יורדי דומה. ואנחנו נברך יה מעתה ועד העולם, מעתה ועד עולם. Hallelujah. Page 565, the middle of the page. הודו לאדוני כי טוב, כי לעולם חסדו. יאמר נא ישראל כי לעולם חסדו. יאמרו נא ותרון כי לעולם חסדו. יאמרו נא ירא אדוני כי לעולם חסדו. כי לעולם, לעולם חסדו. Page 567. פיתחו לי שערי צדק, אבוא במאודיה. פיתחו לי שערי צדק, 568, the third line. An Adonai Hoshiana. An Adonai Hatzlichana. An Adonai Hoshiana. An Adonai Hatzlichana. Baruch haba b'shem Adonai, berachnuchem mibeit Adonai. El Adonai vaya'er lanu, yischu chag ba'avotim, ad karnot hamizbeach, Eliata ve'odeka, Elohai haromimeka. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov, ki leolam chazo, ki leolam chasto. Praised Adonai, for God is good. God's steadfast love is eternal. Baruch atah Adonai melech mehulal batishbachot. We continue on page 494 for Seder Kriyat HaTorah. We stay up on our feet if you are able.
Want somebody to take Torah out?
Yes, indeed. We do need a couple of honors. This was what I was thinking about 20 minutes ago when I paused. I need a volunteer to open our ark and a volunteer to carry our Torah around. And we have our Baal Koreh, our Baalat Koreh this morning, but we will also need someone to take an Aliyah. So, and we already know who is going to do Hagbah.
That's why he got a new haircut and everything.
Okay,
Hagbah Herb.
open, carry, and was there anything else? No, beautiful. And Aliyah LaTorah. Lisa Westrake, would you like to be our Aliyah LaTorah this morning when the time comes? Beautiful. So we continue and invite our ark opener and our carrier of Torah up. Tina and Marge, thank you both so very much. We continue with the tefillah.
Ein kamocha va'elohim Adonai, v'ein kemasecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor vador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai oz lamo yiten, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom, avarachamim, heitiv avirtzoncha et Zion, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Ki v'cha levad bataknu, melech eram v'nisa, Adon olamim. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, udevar Adonai merushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notze chesed le'alafim, notze avon v'fesha, v'chata v'naker. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlul Adonai iti, Uneromema Shemo Yagdav, Yadai, Dai, 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 Yadai, Dai, 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 Yadai, Dai, 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 Yadai, Dai, Yadai, Dai, 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 Yadai, Dai, 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 Yadai, Dai, 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 Dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, dai, dai. Yai, dai, dai, yai, dai, 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 yai, dai, 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 yai, dai, 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 dai.
One more time.
Thanks, honey.
You may be seated. So we are all the way in the 15th chapter, I believe 15th chapter.
16th.
16th, even further. The Parsha starts a little earlier for the section that we read from on the final day of Pesach, on Shabbat, when it is also Yom Tov, is the section that we are going to read. It starts off with really instructing us to be thoughtful about giving. To be thoughtful about giving. And it's very clear, not this section, this is a little bit later. We're going to speak, this section we're going to read is about the counting of the Omer. Is that what you're also going to be speaking about?
Perhaps.
We haven't found out yet. In a moment, Lisa is going to read Torah for us, and then she's going to be our teacher this morning. But the beginning of the Parsha, and all the way up until this moment where we talk about the Spirat HaOmer, is all about our ancestors knowing that we're not all going to be living right by the temple. We're not all going to be right next door. There is going to be a time, not far from then, because they're already thinking about it, where people are, and they want, it's a good thing, are going to spread out. If there's so many of us, we're going to just keep going. We're going to spread out, and we're going to find our way like the stars in the sky. And the question really is, how do we stay connected through our giving when we're not right there, right? The Torah is asking us this last day of Pesach to consider that. And the giving of the Omer on the daily, all the days in between Pesach and Shavuot is confirming this message of giving. Figure it out is what our Torah is telling us. That's how you're going to stay connected. I have no idea if that's what Lisa's talking about, but that's what I was thinking about this morning. You're going to get 2 Devar Torah for the price of 1. So I am going to invite Lisa Westrike up. Lisa, I should know your name. Elisheva. Elisheva. Okay. Ta'amod la'aliyah rishon. Elisheva bat Chana. Elihu. Ken.
I still think of it as over there.
I know. Okay. Oh, here we go.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai mevorach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Shiva Shavuot tispor lach mehachel hermesh bakama tahel ispor Shiva Shavuot ve'asita chag Shavuot l'Adonai Elohecha misat נדבת ידך אשר תיתן, כאשר יברכך אדוני אלוהיך, ושמחת לפני אדוני אלוהיך, אתה ובנך וביתך, ועבדך ואמתך, והלוי אשר בשרך, והגר, והיתום והאלמנה אשר בקרבך, במקום אשר יבחר אדוני אלוהיך לשכן שמו שם, וזכרת כי עובד היית במצרים, ושמרת ועשית את החוקים האלה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Sorry. Anyone else who wants to get close to the Torah while we make the Mishaberach L'cholim, if someone feels moved to get close to the Torah as we make this Mishaberach, please feel free to do so. So many of us know, and maybe it is in fact us, people that are struggling with all kinds of suffering. And it is our custom that while our Torah is still out, and we feel still the vibrations of the Kedusha, of this really unique way of getting close to God by reading the story of how we got there. We pray that those we love will know healing as well. Page 200, no, someone want to find the page for me? It's definitely not page 253. It's like many, many, many pages later. Page 511. Thank you, page 511. We only use this book 3 times a year. It's so heavy. It is heavy. So we just take a moment to think of those who are in need of healing, say their names either aloud or quietly in your heart at any point. Yehoshua ben Yoel, Tova bat Flori, Elka Gittel bat Sarah Tamar. Mi sheberach avoteinu מקור הברכה לאמותינו. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, make us a blessing, to make ours a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Bisheberach imotenu mikor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. So we invite everyone to please once more rise if you are able, and for Herb Hagba Purton to come forward and to come up and help us so that we can visualize Torah, not just hear it, We join together. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, yismechu hashamayim.
Called you on that big one today.
V'tag el haaretz. Yiramayam, 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 umelo, Yiramayam. Thank you, Yiramayam. Thank you, Yiramayam, umelo. Nala Shabbat, you may be seated. Toda Rabbah.
We turn to page 512 for the blessing before Haftarah. And our Haftarah this morning comes from the book of Isaiah, chapter 10. Never mind for that number system, because that's not what I have there. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar binviim tovim veratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Habocher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uv'inviei ha'emet v'tzedek. I think it's actually Isaiah chapter 12, verses 1 to 6. Know what that other part is. Ve'amarta bayom hahu odecha Adonai Ki anafta bi yashov apecha utnachameni hine el yeshuati eftach velo efchad ki ozi v'zimra ya Adonai vayehi li lishua. Ushavtem mayim b'sason mima'anei haYeshua va'amartem bayom hahu Hodu l'Adonai kir'u v'shmo hodiu va'amim alilotav hazkiru ki nizkav shemo. Zameru Adonai ki geut asa muda'at zot bechol haaretz. Sahali v'haroni yoshevet Tzion ki gadol bekirbech kedosh Yisrael.
Page 513 for the after blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol haolamim tzadik bechol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber u'mekayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh ve'al yom chag ha'matzot hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lisasonu lisimcha lechavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי, תמיד לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת וישראל והזמנים.
Invite you to please rise once more, page 514, as we return our ark to their own HaKodesh.
No, the Torah to the other way.
What did I say?
The ark to the Torah. It's okay though, it's all the same place. Yahalalu et Shem Adonai, ki nizkav shemo levado, odo al eretz v'shamayim, vayarem keren le'amo, tehila lechol chasidav, livnei Yisrael, am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It's chaim hi, lamakazim kiba, v'tomcheha meushar, diracheha, darchei noam, v'chol netivoteha, shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem.
Ronnie, thank you. Yishar kochech.
You're welcome.
It's my honor now to invite Lisa to come up and give us some words of Torah, a little bit of a drash on any part of
take my seat.
the portion from this week. Lisa, take it away. Do you want to stand or sit? It's totally great. Great.
Okay, now can you hear me? Okay, because I'm not like a, okay. So, Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. I was trying to figure out what to talk about. And my first thought when I chose these pasukim was to talk about the counting of the Omer and to talk about this week and Chesed and what does that mean and how do we count the Omer and the ritual of counting the Omer. And what do rituals do for us? Because rituals do give us something to hold on to. And we don't always, many of us in our modern age, our postmodern people, we give up the rituals. We think that rituals may not make sense, they're meaningless. Like, what does a sheaf of barley mean to me, right? Like, that feels like it's not personal. But we have lots of rituals. And this parsha includes many, many rituals that make us a people, that make us distinctive. It makes us holy because Adonai, the Lord our God, is holy. And we take this passage from Parshat Re'eh in Deuteronomy, in Dvarim. And Re'eh means see. And God says in the very beginning, see, I set before you blessing and curse. Choose blessing. Blessing is following my laws. And so that brings in this idea of freedom, that the commandments are not I wouldn't say they're not written in stone because they are, but the commandments are not shackles, they're choices. And so freedom is about choice. And we have the freedom to choose to follow the mitzvot or to not follow the mitzvot. And throughout Torah, we learn that the mitzvot are a gift. They are a gift from God. They are a present, something we should treasure. And God looks at us as Am Segula, a treasured people, a treasured possession. So what is it about the rituals that are a treasure. And then how does that relate to chesed? So I read a bit more of this parsha, and specifically starting with chapter 15, leading through 16. And it starts with leaving the corners of our fields, right? So it starts with this idea of leaving the corners of our fields. It starts with the ideas of tzedakah. It talks about the Shemitah year, giving the land a rest. And it talks about the festivals, like bringing ourselves together. The festivals, which are Shalosh Regalim, which we spoke about in Torah study today. Festivals are about pilgrimage, about going somewhere together. And throughout the Torah portion, it says, Bamakom, in the place that God will choose, Hamakom. And so we don't actually know where we're going together. We just know that we're doing it together. And who's included in together? And that's what these pasukim talk about. Who is included? So it's really a parsha about inclusion, and it's very specific. It says, you shall rejoice, all of us will rejoice together with our son and our daughter, our male and female slave, the Levite, who is definitely a different status than the male or female slave. So we have such diversity. We have the stranger, Hagar, and we have the orphan, the fatherless, and the widow. So the weakest, the least protected in our society are instructed to rejoice with all of us. And what does that tell us about compassion and chesed? That we are all included. And it is our responsibility to include everybody. And we have the power and the choice to read ourselves into this story. And so why do I even bring that up? Because when I was first reading these pasukim, I was reading them in the women's commentary. And what they notice and point out is it doesn't say your wife. It says you and your son and daughter and your male and female slave and all of these other people. And why doesn't it say your wife? Is the wife excluded? And some of the commentary in the women's commentary says no. The wife is included in the you as the head of the household. The wife is necessarily part of the story because without the wife, we don't have the son and daughter. Without the wife, we don't have the family unit altogether. And so we have this opportunity and choice, the freedom, to read the wife into the story. And so I choose to do that. Whereas others may look at this text and say, where is the wife? Why am I not included? And so this is an opportunity. We are told to choose blessing over curse. And blessing is inclusion. And blessing is all these different categories of people who are sitting together and celebrating. And that's the power of these words. The ritual is that we go, we travel, we pilgrimage, together we share joy. And that's the ritual of Pesach. We sit around the Pesach table, we share food, we tell a story. We are all included. All who are hungry come and eat. We open the door to the stranger. And the stranger is here too, Hagar. We're all included. So that was powerful for me to think about it. And that chesed that is embedded in every one of our acts and in this story about the tzedakah. And so I always find that Torah comes to me when I'm walking on my way. And I plugged my phone in yesterday afternoon, and the car picked up random music. And this is the song that I heard first. Oh no, hold on. Wait, you can't, hold on. Hold on, you can't hear it because it's, wait, no. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, you can't hear it because it's in my hearing aids. So I have to now fix that. I'm sorry. I could take off my hearing aids. I'm trying to figure out how. Okay, hold on. You're right. Okay. Maybe that will do it. Or maybe I'll go access. So I'm sorry that it's taking so long and it's not like this seamless. It was supposed to be seamless. Okay, great. Okay, back to the music. And 8. Okay. Can you hear?
We've made it this far together, you know. Come, brothers and sisters, let's sing. Hinei matov panayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Come gather round and hear the song. If you're the wandering kind, 'cause you can make it alone, but just so you know, we leave no one behind. Our mothers and fathers who weather the storms grew strong in the trials of their times. So we brothers and sisters, the door by door, carry on with this song in our lives. Hinei matov panayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov panayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov panayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hinei matov panayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
They live here.
So thank you, and thank you, Donnie, for talking to me in my car.
Thanks.
We rise once more for Aleinu, and we face the Aron HaKodesh.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Wait. שהוא נוטשה שמיים ועושה הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זאת בגבי מרומים, ואלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפסולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים מן מעל, ובארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. So we're going to take a little bit more time to prepare for Kaddish Yatom. Last night we did a full Yizkor, and some of you were there, and I'm glad. And in the morning to this morning, it is also custom that we say memorial prayers. We're not going to do a full Shiviti, but a full Yizkor, but I want to invite you to page 580. The practice of remembering is not a 3 or 4 time a year task, obviously. For those that we love, we think of them purposefully, and sometimes even when we don't want to. They find us. So I want to invite us to just be with them. Be with your people, with those that you are remembering, not just today. You remember them plenty of times, but today, as Lisa taught us, with purpose and with ritual, we even deepen our connection. The relationship to our beloveds continues. So we take a few moments to do some private contemplation. Page 580 can lead you. There are several texts prior to that and several after. And in a couple of minutes, we'll join back together for El Malei Rachamim. us to rise. Turn to page 582. El Malay Chachami Shuchine Ba Meromim Hametze Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanfei HaShechina Im Kedoshim Utehorim Kezohar Rakia Mazehirim Lenishmot Yakreinu Shehalechu Leolamam Bal Harachamim יסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור ביצרור החיים את נשמתם. אדוני הוא נחלתם וינוחו בשלום על משכבם. ונאמר אמן. In the rising of the sun and in its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of winter, we remember them. In the opening of buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the sky and in the warmth of summer, we remember them. In the rustling of the leaves, in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember them. When we have joys we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as they live, we too shall live, for they are now a part of us as we remember them. We turn to page 598. We join together in the words of the Kaddish Yatom, remembering those. Gadal vitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chilute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon u'v'yom echon u'v'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתחומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה לשמי דקדושה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דא אמירם בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום הרבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. You may be seated. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. Once more. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל Shabbat Shalom, but we can't end like that. We have to end with a little Pesachish, right? Ili hotianu mimitraim daenu, oh, daenu, daenu, Natan lanu eta Torah, natan lanu eta Torah, natan lanu eta Torah, daenu, 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 Shabbat. Ilu natan lanu eta Shabbat, natan lanu eta Shabbat, daenu. Oh, last time. Daenu, 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 daenu. Chag Sameach and Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, everybody. Norm, thanks for coming. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Make sure that you introduce yourself to someone new if you haven't met them yet, and welcome back. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and have some yummy pizza later. Shabbat Shalom.